Christina back with Randy James, and we told you earlier that we were going to kick it over to our YouTube channel, so that's where we're mingling over to now, and we're about to take a deeper look into the history of Centaur, how it got started, how it's become what it's become, and then we're going to take a look too at some cool memorabilia that I think y'all really need to kind of see. So earlier in our Facebook video we talked about it kind of brewed in 1989 over drinks, which we all know the best ideas are born over cocktails. I mean, I'm here for it. So tell us a little bit about that. Who was the group of people that got together to kind of move this ball?
You know, of course, David Yount, and David was our first captain, and Susan, his wife, Larry Schaefer, myself, and Larry and Susie Ryan, and Vita Gregorio, which she's not a member any longer either, whatever. So just kind of talking about, hey, you know, you think we can make this thing work? Whatever. What do you think? Well, yeah, we can make this thing work. Then the next time we called a couple other friends, whatever, and it grew to about 15 people. And then the next meeting, we actually moved. We started calling Cowboys the official clubhouse of the crew of Centaur. So that meeting there was 36 people there, and I can't remember all the names, I'm sorry, but I know Ken Hartgrove, which Ken was an architect here in town. He's the one who actually designed the first 500 years of the first float that we built, and David designed the Star Trek Enterprise, which was by a guy Cool. Now, let me tell you, it was a full-blown
But
deal.
when y'all started, that was old school networking.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's all that was, yeah.
Hey, keep in mind when we did that, there was no internet.
No, there was
Cell
no
phones were
YouTube.
highly expensive, no YouTube. And, but yeah, you're right. And so it was get on the phone, call your people up or whoever, and
Come on down to this meeting. Right?
That's it. You know, and you're not going to believe what we're going to talk about. So we kind of lied to them to get them there, right? So once we got them in there, we said, "Here's what we're going to do," and man, we want you to be a part of it. And everybody goes, "Well, yeah, why not?" So that first meeting was 36 people. We just kind of brainstormed about what we thought it would take to put on a nice parade. Well, the next month we met again, and it doubled. We had 60, 62 people there. And the next meeting, it got up to over 100 people. I mean, wham, bam, just like
So
that.
has it always been the third Monday of the month?
Not always back. We even met twice a month, a time or two in the early days and all that stuff. Because one, we were excited, you know, and you're in the planning stages and all that. And Vernon and Lillian Ritchie, which she was the very first queen. And,
Okay, pictures right over there.
Yeah. You know, and Queen Lil and Vernon, we got a copy of some bylaws and all that from a crew down South Louisiana where we kind of have a little base of it. I don't want to mention their name because they might get up. No, they wouldn't mind at all. But anyhow, we got that and we expanded on that. So the first few meetings was really talking about yes we can, and we started putting together the rules and the regs, if you will, the constitution of the crew of Centaur, if you will, and which still hold true today. I mean, we were all pretty young back then. I mean, like I said, I think I was 35, 36, you know. David was a couple years younger than I. Vernon, he was a young pup at the time.
I mean, I'm 37 and I cannot imagine taking that on at all. Like,
and so at the same time, we're trying to make things where it's kind of like things change. You know, there's no doubt you need to update and all that. I'm older now and all. I'm just as excited today as I was back then getting started up because because of the success. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of all the members that helped get it there. Y'all wish David was still around where he could see the success. He knows what's going on, and I know he's probably up there. I kind of thought that he probably once he got to the pearly gates, he kind of did his shaking hands and all that stuff, and he's looking for St. Peter. He walks over to St. Peter and he goes, "Hey, you know," and introduces himself. I want to meet Noah, you know, because if Noah could build that ark, we're going to build one fine Mardi Gras parade float. You know what I'm saying? And I know Syl Benson. I know we've talked about the same thing. You know, Syl just passed away, and she was our first female captain. She served for 3 terms. She was the driving force in us buying the property where we're at now, and building the building of our clubhouse now. And because she was captain during that time, and so during the second year we got that done. And Syl, we owe you a lot. And gonna miss you too, you know, and all. Jim, I'm not so sure about, but anyhow. No. But yeah, you know, we went from just 4 people to 16 people to 30 some odd people to 100 people. Now it's 760 some odd paid members. We
And
got.
growing.
Yeah,
Think about
you
it.
know, part of last week's interview was talking to Dana about the beads, and she's having to she had to get the board of directors to pass a resolution to up her budget because of the influx of members.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we added like 10 last week alone.
Right.
Oh yeah. You know what?
From
Think
June
about it.
1, when
Yeah.
she had to have her budget ready, since June 1, she saw, oh, I need to order some more beads.
Yeah.
So
Now think about it. Just the last 2 meetings alone, how many new members this crew has signed up that people are, and I'm telling you, this parade year, in my opinion,
Like, I'm so excited. I think it's
not
going
only
to be
are we all
like
excited,
the biggest.
but I'm telling you, I
ever.
think people are tired of being boarded up.
Yeah.
They're gonna get out. I think we're gonna see crowds that we haven't seen in
Yes.
a long, long time. In our crew, let's face it, we've gone to where we had a few thousand to a few 100,000. I'll take the few 100,000 any day,
Any
of
day.
course, right? And we paraded in snow and ice
Rain.
and rain
30 degrees.
and 70-degree weather. Now take the 70-degree
Yes.
weather anytime.
Over the 30, yes.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, the third year when I was that captain, I rode on top of a stagecoach, an authentic Wells Fargo stagecoach. Of course, we didn't, you know, back then we were just kind of, you know, putting stuff together, anything we could get. If you had a camel, yeah, bring that thing on down here.
Yeah.
We'll put you in. We had horses back then, and
Look at y'all
and all
incorporating a
that
little bit
stuff.
of Noah's Ark in there, too.
You know, really. So I remember in that year, and it was called the Showman, something Showman on that third year. Well, I had on, being captain, I wore a Showman. So all I had on is sheer lame. What's that stuff called? Real sheer fabric.
Oh,
It wouldn't even. They
gosh.
made the damn thing so tight I couldn't even put on insulated underwear for it. So this is all I got on, and we're in the parade, and it's 40 some odd degrees. I'm sitting in the top of this stagecoach is leather. It's stretched leather over
Oh,
wood,
no.
slicker than you know what.
Just sliding the
And
whole
I had-
time, freezing.
Yeah, I'm not only my free, but you know what? I remember very distinctly that it was cold, but I was so excited with those smiling faces and those kids and those people in that crowd that I made it through the parade. But let me tell you, as soon as that parade was over with, I was one cold dude. It just kind of
Yes.
hit me all at once. I had my girls underneath in the stagecoach handing me stuff, you know, because you couldn't, there was no pegs like we have
Uh-huh.
today and all. But those were the good old days and all. But we made it, and let me tell you, this crew means a lot to this city, and this city means a lot to this crew. You know.
It does. You know, we talked about it earlier about the economic impact, and I didn't make no bones about it when I spoke to the city here about a month ago that I feel like that the 2 weekends we put these parades on, they are the largest single events now that the city hosts, I believe.
Well, there used to be the Independence Bowl, or the
Yeah.
Barksdale Air
Uh-huh.
Show, or the State
Right.
Fair. I'm telling you, this is the largest event, period. And the city, if they don't watch it, you know, they need to be a partner, and they are. But you know, they need to be more so of more understanding. They have certain people that work down there that think, you know, they're getting put out because they got to work a little overtime or whatever. Folks, come on, this is a major event. It's a fun event that we're putting on for the people that live here, and it's free. You
Yeah,
know?
free.
It's absolutely free.
Right.
We fill a lot of hotel rooms. You ask any hotel operator, you ask any of the vendors today, I'm talking about vendors meaning like restaurants or operations along the parade route, Shreve City, those people over there, even Walmart at the very beginning, because we built Walmart there, and they were a little hesitant to allow the parade to go on. And said, well, wait a minute, this parade's going on before Walmart even come around, big boys. So they now, today, they're upset that it didn't parade last year, you know, and all. And if we take that parade route, if we take it away from there, all those people up and down Shreveport Barksdale Highway are going to feel the heat and the loss of sales. The sales tax this city generates, not just from the Hotel Motel Association dues, you know, the hotel tax, but the sales tax increase from all the restaurants and all that stuff that's a big chunk. But let's forget about all that money. Let's talk about the experience and the joy of living here and being able to take your kids, your grandkids, your friends that come in from wherever they come from. to see a beautiful parade that this crew puts on and the other crews put on.
For absolutely nothing.
For absolutely nothing.
Because you get 2 weekends of it
Yeah.
for free.
And it all comes out of your and my pocket.
Yeah, it does
You
come
know?
out of our pocket.
Now think about that.
Right.
You know, the city has to give a lot, don't have to, but they donate a lot of cash to the Independence Bowl and the other things go, and that's great, I'm all for that. But hey, we pay for every penny we put on,
We
you and
do.
me and every member here.
We don't ask them for money.
Nope.
You know.
But anyway, hey, the fun thing is this crew, you know, we were successful, we showed that we could do it, going back to the original parade, you know, the first year we had 2 behind, Jim and I. The second year we paraded, had a little small parade, had like 12 floats in it. And then we got so successful, you know, we first years that we paraded by ourselves, we paraded on Friday night. Well, and I can't remember if we did that 2 years or 3 years, but we got so successful that the city wouldn't allow us to close the parkway down 2 nights in a row. So they asked us to move to the Saturday night before, and Jim and I already had the last Saturday night before Fat Tuesday. So we did, and we thought, well, so it really kind of works out well. We're still filling up 2.5 nights of hotel rooms instead of just 2 nights, being Friday and Saturday night. We're still filling up, and the hotel motel rates, not the cost, but the occupancy rate went up for sure. And now, look at it. Look how many people that fill the streets to watch this parade and the other parades.
It's
And
incredible.
the big thing too, you know, and this was a challenge whenever I was captain, and Susie Ryan did the parade. God bless her, and she was a big mentor of mine.
Oh, big time, yeah, she's a sweet lady.
Talented, and you know, one of the things that that Centaur has traditionally kept was the not, I guess, having a corporate wide sponsor of the actual parade itself. You know, keeping in the tradition of Mardi Gras. You know, it's giving back to the community without tying yourself to, say, you know, like Poland Weed Eater did the Independence Bowl.
Right.
You know, we've never done that. We've been successful in not doing that.
And, you know, and reason being, because it was truly, we were trying to be an anonymous gift back to the city that we live in. You know, we paraded in Shreveport and Bossier City, and I hope one day that we can get back over into Bossier City and all, with new leadership. You know, the parkways are great. There's a lot of reasons that happened when it did. We won't get into that, but you know, this is Shreveport, Bossier City. You know, and I live here. I parade over there. The money that's generated affects both cities.
Yes.
You know, and wherever we parade, I guarantee you one thing: we will put on a show and we'll have fun doing it, right? But I tell you, Larry and Susie Ryan have been a very serious, intricate part of this thing. And I tell you, somebody else, probably the most important asset and the most important cog in our wheel has been KTBS Channel 3.
Yeah.
I remember George, when I walked in and told him that we were going to start a parade, and he kind of looked at me, "You going to do what?" And I said to George, you know, we can't do it without you, because back then we didn't have social media.
Yeah.
We didn't have Facebook, Twitter, and
You
Instagram.
relied on the
all this
news.
stuff.
Like, that was the only way.
The news has reached out to everybody in
Yeah.
this Arklatex, and they were well respected. That's why we went to Channel 3. I said, George, we got to have your help. Without your help, we're going to stutter and we're going to crawl and whatever. But he got involved. George rode our float the first few years until I had the Budweiser girls in the front of our float one year, and George was riding with this. And this, yeah, they didn't, you know. It's okay, George. We had fun, didn't we, buddy? But, no, that's a funny story. But
I bet you're full of them.
Yeah.
can we talk? Some of them we don't even get about. But no, Larry and Susie Ryan. Susie was such a heartbeat of this crew and all, and we've had some truly tremendous people. You know, John Watson, which our front den's named after John Watson, and of course his brother Billy. But if it wasn't for KTBS taking that dream that we had and broadcasting it out over the airs and drawing these people in, we might still be out there struggling to get 50 people at our parade, right? But they drew thousands, tens of thousands of people to this city for that parade and got the word out. So George and everybody at KTBS, man, I appreciate that. A lot of good people there. Rick Rowe, the stories you've done on us,
Fantastic.
top class and fantastic. And you know, one of them I was proud of this year when we're on our 25th anniversary. Let me say this, and Larry, you know back out there well that I had to beg you to be king that year. But since you have been, you truly enjoyed it, and I know you did, and I think your daughter Casey too, because she helped twist your arm big time. But you know, Di and I and all that, and but Larry Ryan, best king ever. You know, great sport. Of course, he wanted to come out. He got a little upset at me when I had to put my foot down and say he couldn't come out during the ball and Elvis Presley outfit, you know, and all that. we got to fit the mode here, you know.
Yeah.
From what was our theme then? You know, it was 25 years of Centaur, but it was from a dream to reality, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you went from that, and Larry made it work. You know, I'm not going to beg anybody as hard as I did you, Larry Ryan. No, it was a lot of fun. Great crew, 25 years of that, and now we're on our 30th year. Technically our 32nd year, but we're calling it, and parade-wise, it's our 30th parade. And we got some great royalty and some. Again, I'm just amazed the last two meetings how many new members are flocking to us.
It's been crazy. I mean,
The energy.
wild, and they're excited. Like they're not just like, oh, I'm here. Like they're like jumping in. I mean, what was it last month? I think we had just new members that actually it was from doing these videos, and she just showed up to check it out.
I heard that story and I walked in. I thought, man, you go. I mean, you know what? But you
And
know
she
what?
owned it. I was like, yes,
Well, she-
girl.
And she was actually there this past month.
Yes, and she did join.
So
So,
she joined,
yes,
yeah,
now she's a
absolutely.
member. So
I don't know. You know, human beings are social by nature. You know,
Yes.
we're created for care and loving and all that stuff, but human beings are social by nature, you know, and how many people do I know that go out on a regular weekly basis, for sure monthly basis, by people they met in this crew, you know.
Mhm.
It's become a second family to a lot of people
Absolutely.
and primary family to a few, you know,
Mhm.
meaning, you know, if they're just one or two there, but look at this family we have together. And people do stuff every month together and all that. We're not just a once a year deal, put on a parade and that kind of thing. You get to meet these members weekly, if not monthly, if not
Monthly,
yearly,
yeah.
that's for sure. But you know, it takes people to make things happen. And one thing I'm more proud of also is that our crew's constantly attracting younger people. Because like I said, we were in our 30s when we started this crew. Most of us were, a lot of us were. Larry Ryan, I know you're older now, but anyway. But think about it, you know, and now I'm 67 years old, don't mind admitting it at all. And I'm as excited today as I was back then. Had a lot more energy back then maybe, but the fact that we can attract people like you two and the younger people, that's the only way. Hey, listen, I know of 3 crews in the last few years that have shut down
Yeah.
after 25 years because they just don't have nobody to carry. They get older, they get
They don't have any new
tired, or
blood.
they don't.
Yeah.
They can't function anymore. But this crew has kept on thriving because we attract young people. You know, that's what it takes. You know, they're just as important to us as those old guys over there are. You know,
Yep.
for sure.
Well, you know, I'm just amazed at all the memorabilia that you pulled out and the neat
Mhm.
stuff, you know, the throwing cards that you talked about and Facebook. What's that declaration over there behind?
oh yeah,
Yeah, what is
behind
that?
my wine glass.
Oh,
there.
this is when, yeah, this was when Donnie Keith and I, which is one of our original members, we had Bricktown, and we were a big sponsor of the crew of Centaur financially, and the captain and the king and the queen signed this. The captain then was Paul Hogendijk, and Darrell Falls, he was the Lord High Captain. He was the parade chairman that year, and Terry Duhan was our queen. So they gave all the corporate sponsors a little deal. I just had this laying over there in the corner, you know, hanging on the wall or
That's
something.
neat though. I like
But yeah,
it.
that is kind of cool deal, and an official seal, and all 3
Mhm.
signed it and all that.
Now
And
the umbrella, it's been the centerpiece of this little setup here. You dug that out.
I mean, do you want to know his story behind the
let me
umbrella?
tell you. Well, let me tell you. That's paper mache, boy. You don't want to carry that out in the rain, that's
No.
for sure. And I've never broken it out except for probably the first 2 years, because we second lined. Every meeting we had, we actually had a second line.
Mm.
Every monthly meeting, we had a
You
second
might
line.
need to start that off.
Yeah, you know.
I
so
like that.
That's something you could do.
Ah.
But that's paper mache. There used to be a beautiful crown on the top of it. I don't know where that thing went, but I paid for that thing back a few years back, and 30-something. The thing's over 30.
It's holding together
Well, it's
pretty
probably
well.
32
I
years
mean, the
old.
purple's a little faded, but that green and the gold
Yeah.
are hanging on.
But I guess too, because I was going to ask you, and then it just hit me. But is in 30 years change, and I guess decorations and little things like that, and technology has allowed us to evolve and do things bigger, brighter. There's lights now, and
Oh yeah.
you know.
You think about our first ball. Southern Trace, South Shreveport, just opened up. And I know David and I are sitting there talking where we're going to have the ball. We're thinking because Bossier Civic Center wasn't built back then. Shreveport Convention Center was too big for what we wanted to do. Think about it. So we said, hey, you know, this is a brand new, beautiful place out here. So we cut a deal. Lillian and Vernon got us in, and we held our first ball. Lil and I came out when they introduced us King and Queen out of the kitchen of Southern Trace.
And I'm assuming that photograph is from
That's
that.
from that, yes.
And you know, I've seen the old photos
I
and
love
stuff.
You love that crown? That looks like it came out of a Cracker Back box now,
Yeah,
compared to the ones that these kings are
Yeah,
getting today.
I was gonna say you look like King Vitamin on the cereal box.
Plastic little necklace right here, and on the back, gosh, we were
Yeah.
having fun and we were looking good.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
general public doesn't know how that's involved. You know, they
No.
get those beads thrown at them. You know, they don't. Boy, that thing is like mint compared to some of that
yeah.
old stuff.
Yeah.
Remember, a couple of years ago, I saved some original beads that we threw. They were like spaghetti, little medallions on there, and they were so bad. When you tried to throw them, they'd stick to your gloves and all that stuff. But I just wanted our members to see what it was that we first threw. I still got some there in my home, but they were little plastic things and little sticky stuff all over. And boy, when you throw them, they stick to your hand. So finally, we just pick up the bag and throw the whole
Throw it
bag.
off.
Right? But boy, our throws, thanks to Ricky and Dana, have come light years from what they used to be. It was kind of embarrassing. Of course, back then, hell, nobody knew
You
any
didn't
different.
know,
It looked
yeah.
great. Hey, hit me something right. And but today, the throws that they produce for us, fantastic, and people,
All the
the
light
lighted
ups.
stuff, man, they go crazy over that
They
old stuff,
do.
don't they? But by golly, it does my heart still good today when I see somebody smiling and begging for a little bead,
Oh, yeah.
and the little kids and all that stuff. You know, it might sound whatever, but it's true.
It
you
is
know,
true.
it
I
gets
mean,
us
I
all.
teach, full time, but that's been one of the big things for me that I always have the most fun with is watching those little kids like light up. Like you just want to give them all of your stuff. I'm like, take it,
Oh,
all
yeah,
of it, just
yeah.
grab it all. Like they
Or
light
when you
up.
point to one of them down there and he goes, "Who, me?"
Yes.
And then you, oh man,
Uh-huh.
that's
or when they
that's a
catch that, that the stuffed rose or the light up ring, or I mean,
Big
they
time.
don't even care either. You could throw a whole handful of beads at them; they do not care.
I got to share one little quick story. You know how, and one of the neatest things that I tell the royalty and all when they ask about, hey, what to expect during the Mardi Gras season and all that. Still to this day, and this was our second year or third year, and we're making the visits to the local schools and schools and all that. I believe this was Southfield Elementary. I remember walking in, and boy, back then and still today, you walk in, these kids think you're Michael Jackson or some superstar.
They think
You
it's
know?
really cool. Like
Oh.
they ask me questions all the time. I have pictures in my
Big time.
room, and they're like, "What is that? Is that real?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's real."
You betcha. So we get up there, and this is in the whole auditorium there and all that, and so we're speaking and all that stuff. And I remember speaking about what the colors of Mardi Gras meant and what we do and what the parade is and all that. About a week later, just of course my mouth can't do a thing with it. About a week later, one of the teachers brings me about 30 letters that she had all these little kids write. And I'm reading through these things, and I'm telling you what, I'm a guy, and whatever. But this is really getting me, right? And I get to this one little letter, and this little boy, he's writing to you. He says, "Man, we were so excited when you walked in and all that stuff to see the Mardi Gras going on and all that stuff." He just goes on about the deal. He wrote a cute little paragraph, but it signed his little name, and at the very end of it, he goes, "I sure wish you was my daddy."
Oh.
Oh my God!
Man.
I saved that. I still have that in my house. But just the fact, but Mardi Gras affected those kids so much.
Yeah.
It wasn't because me, Randy James. It was me, Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
In person.
And Mardi Gras in person, and why we don't teach more of our history and all in this state. By golly, we do now.
I mean, we do. I will tell you, in second grade, we learned about Mardi Gras
I
big
got a
time
school
in my
teacher
room.
living across the street. she's special. They teach autistic children and all that. She's come to my house every year for umpteen years, but can you make sure that royalty comes to visit our school and all. That's why I have such a soft heart for Holy Angels. We go to Holy Angels every year, the royalty does, to see those people light up and all that stuff. That's a lot of the reasons why we do what we do also. Mardi Gras, you know, this cruise is far more than just putting on a parade.
It's loving on your community.
It is. It's hugging on your community. It's going out and talking about Mardi Gras. It's going to the top schools as well as the bottom of the barrel schools, if better way of putting it. You know, we go to all of them. But you know, we give a lot. You know, we paid for all the first barricades the city had, you know, to help protect. I mean, we do a lot of stuff, but Holy Angels sure means a lot. Jim and Margaret Huckabee's daughter, he's the one that designed our logo. His daughter's been out there since she's been almost born, still living there today, and it's such a sweet, special spot.
And we'll wrap it up with and that was one last question I had. So Centaur, that was formulated because of the gaming industry, am I correct?
Well, it wasn't so much the gaming industry,
okay,
but Louisiana Downs. David Yon, you know, of course, worked there, and that I'd always see David sitting over there. We're talking. He's over there writing notes and sketching stuff out and all that stuff. And the first few names we thought of, you know, was trying to do something mythological, you know, some, you know, Apollo and Gemini and all these cool names, whatever, and all that. And then David's over there saying, "Hey, I got it," and he kind of sketched that little thing out. It was a centaur, half man, half horse. And we all got to talking about that, and we expanded on that. Louisiana Downs is out there. This is a horseman state, and we do have Louisiana Downs, the gaming side, but it's because of the horsemen out there and the horse. Larry Robideau, Brenda Robideau. Brenda was our second or third queen. I'm sorry, Brenda, but anyhow, you know, he's one of the top trainers. Louisiana Downs was involved with us back then. But we all unanimously said, let's go with Centaur. And Centaur was born through David's little sketches sitting over there as we're sitting there trying to conduct a little meeting. And we loved it. You know, it fit well. And Centaur's a mythical man, you know. It's I say man, it's a mythical legend, you know. And so that's how Centaur become.
Wow.
And that's how Centaur's still here, because he's a strong leader. For sure.
Well, Randy, I can't thank you enough. Christina, this is, you've been waiting for this one for a while.
Thank you so much. I've learned so much tonight.
I wish I'd written some more notes down or whatever, but you know, you sit here and it's more fun when you just kind of ad lib. You get some stuff wrong, and I apologize. Can't remember some things, and but you know, this crew means a lot to me, as it does to a lot of us here, and proud to live here, and that's another reason why I'm proud to live here, because the city's allowed people like us to create something like Mardi Gras and put it on the streets that everybody gets to enjoy.
That's right. So if you're watching and you're not a part of it yet, y'all come join all these new faces and come hang out with us, learn the history about it, and come find you a second family. So check us out on our YouTube channel, and we'll see you guys again soon.
If not, throw me something, mister.